this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope everyone is doing well today. I am going to do a little bit of playing in my personal junk journal, which is somewhat of it's a junk journal, art journal, slash a little bit of memory keeping, whatever, journal. It's just what it is. Anyway, before we get on with that and play with that, I just wanted to show you, a week ago, I went to a thrift shop that I don't usually go to because it's way too expensive, way too expensive. However, when I went, I was just really trying to kill some time before I was having lunch with my son. When I went, it just happened to be 50% off the whole store. So it's like, well, okay, I'll take a look. So I'll just show you what I found. I spent a whopping $2.11, and I'll show you what I got. So the first thing I got was this really cool woven, it looks like it's probably, excuse me, South American, somewhere from South America. This woven bowl, which I love. I love fabric bowls. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to do some slow stitch fabric bowls, but they're coming along very slowly because I'm only working on them when I'm up at the cabin. So anyway, so I got that. It was $3, so I got that for $1.50. Then I got these cards. I always get these kinds of cards. These are just the alphabet cards, you know, for dividing. I guess they go this way for like in a index card box or something, but I punch holes in them and usually put them in journals as pages, and they were $1, so I got those for 50 cents. So that's $2 there. And then this I got for free because this was the first thing I was looking at. There was a bookshelf of books, and I didn't realize at the time when I started looking at them that they were all kids' books. But he said, oh, any of the kids' books is free. You can have one for free. You can have one for free. So I had been looking at this one. It's called Mr. Penny's Circus. And I don't even know. It's a discard from the Silsbee Free Public Library in Charleston, New Hampshire. It looks like the last time this book was checked out was March 19th, 1993. But the book looks kind of old. I'm not sure. Copyright 1961. Okay. But it just has some really adorable pictures. And there's these pictures of a bear. And I guess the story might be about the bear. I'm going to read the story. But I love these little animals. And I thought these would be real cute for tags and stuff. Look at these cute little goats. Just to cut them out and, not the clown, I hate clowns. Anyway, just to cut the little animals out and maybe make some tags or something cute with them, some little embellishment with the little animals. So, free. So that was my $2.11 spent at that thrift shop. So I was glad I went. I did have a great lunch with my son also right after that. So here is the bin that I keep my personal journal in and all the junk that I want to put in it. I mean, there's so much stuff in here. It's never going to fit in here. Yes, I haven't done anything to the cover. And remember, I had a video not long ago talking about why don't I ever work on the covers. I don't know why I don't work on the covers, but I did put some gesso on because it was messed up a little bit and I just wanted to cover that. So whatever I end up putting, now I'm going to have to do the cover because it's just so messed up. So anyway, so what I want to work on is I want to work on a page, and I want to focus on the Highland County Fair. That is why I have not been making videos, because we've been going to the fair, having fun. You know, we both, Mr. Moss Cottage and myself, entered items into the baked goods and preserved goods categories. And and then we just helped set everything up in those categories. We helped the day of judging with those things. And then in the evenings, we were going to the fair. You know, we actually went to the fair to enjoy it. So let me just find a page here. I don't work in this necessarily, chronologically. I just kind of put stuff in. So we're just going to use these pages here. And now all I really have here is the 2 tickets to the fair, and then a $10 quarter roll. Now the reason I have the $10 quarter roll is because we played bingo at the fair all the nights we went. Well, we only went two nights, but we did play bingo both nights. So I have my ever increasing, ever growing bag of garbage that I just, well, scraps and whatever that I just want to get rid of. So I'm just going to pull some things out here and try to do something on this page, or this spread. I'm going to do both of these. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I'm just pulling out some pieces here and there. We'll see what we're going to use. Anyway, so yesterday, we only got back from the cabin today. Yesterday, instead of going to the fair, we went to my cousin. Let's see, maybe there's some bright paper or something I can use with that one. My cousin, who owned the antique mall where I have my booth, he bought some property, like literally, like the same month we bought our cabin. He bought some property in West Virginia, and 17 acres, I think. But his was a totally undeveloped land. Whereas, we bought the 5 acres, almost 6 acres, but 5-ish acres, and with the cabin on it. But we had never seen his place before. He has now had a house built. Now, I'm just going to try to put something underneath because, just sticking tickets on the white, I don't really care for that. So I'm just going to stick something underneath. But anyway, so he had a big, and when I say big, this is a 3-level log cabin house built. I think, what did he say? It's over 3,000 square feet. He said it's the biggest house they've ever had. And this is like their my cousin's wife just retired from her job. So they are kind of downsizing up like we did. I'm just trying to find a glue stick. Okay, that has glue in it. Okay. Anyway, so the house is not finished. The outside is built. The structure is built. It isn't finished on the inside, and some of the outside, like decks that need to be put on, because I think they're having decks on all 3 levels, and the bottom level right now, it looks like concrete or something. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be covered with stone, and that's not done yet either. But it was really fun because every Labor Day weekend, he has what he calls Camp Fest. So his best friend comes with his trailer, and my cousin and his wife when they're there, they have a big 5th wheel trailer that they stay in. Well, his best friend brings a trailer. My brother just got a trailer and not too long ago, and he came. My sister-in-law couldn't come. She was up in New York with her mom. This is just what is this? This looks like a part of a calendar. No, this is a piece of junk mail right here. Let's just put that on there for no other reason than I'm trying to cover up some of this white. Anyway, so my brother came with his trailer, and then later on, excuse me, sorry about that. After we left, some of my cousin's kids came. And I missed them because we had to get back. It's okay. So if you live in the mountains or visit the mountains, you're going to understand what I say here. We live about 30 miles from my cousin, so it's an hour drive home. Right? If you live in the mountains, you understand that math right there. So I needed to get home because I hadn't cleaned the bathrooms, I hadn't done anything, and we were leaving today to come back. And I don't ever leave either this house to go there or that house to come here. I'm not sure I want to use this. I'm going to put that back. I don't like to come to a place and it's dirty. So I really try to keep things clean. And so I hadn't done any cleaning. I hadn't cleaned the bathrooms. I hadn't tidied anything up. I hadn't packed anything either. So I try to pack all my craft supplies, which I toted, you know, a bunch of projects I was going to work on. You know what I worked on? My last video was that little canvas that I finished. That's the only crafting I did this whole time. And I had my huge tote of craft supplies because we were just having, you know, so much fun with the fair and all of that and, you know, whatever. So what else I have here? This is the guide, the Highland County Fair Guide that tells you if you're gonna, like, one of the things in it besides the schedule, oops, not that, and everything, it tells you, like, if you're gonna enter dried fruits, like, what is the requirement of the size of the jar and how full should it be and what category are you going to be in and all of this. It gives you the guidelines for everything that you enter in the fair. Doesn't matter if it's, you know, flowers, if it's taxidermy, woodworking, whatever you put in the Highland County Fair, this book or this guide will tell you what you need to do to qualify. And I'll tell you something. I know you all read. I know you all can read. And I know you probably do read. But we were shocked. On Tuesday night was the intake for except for the flowers, because they could come in Wednesday. They weren't going to be judged. The fair officially opened Wednesday evening. So Tuesday evening, we took in the baked goods and the jars. And like I've told you before, guys, this is not a fly-by-night thing. This is a huge ordeal. Everything has to get tagged. Everything has to be put in its proper place so that coming judging on Wednesday morning, when we go to get the stuff to give the judges, we're giving them the right stuff that they need and that they've got their sheets for. So it is a huge deal, really. But how many people came on Tuesday night? And I didn't see this at all last year because Mr. Moss and I helped last year too. People coming up with just like a jar, which is fine. You know, you can enter one item. There's no deal on that, you know. But it would be like have labels on it or writing on it, or, you know, they don't know. Well, this one, oh my gosh, this one lady came, young woman. She must have been like in her 30s. She had a couple jars of stuff. She didn't know where to, any categories. Like, she's like, well, this is like a bean ragu. I don't know. It could be soup. It could be chili. She held up the line for so long. I was just about, oh my gosh. I was like, come on, lady, just decide. Where do you want it to go? And it's like, most people, you should know that you need to have this stuff done before you come and get in line. Okay, the reason I'm cutting the cows out is because Highland County is all about cows and sheep. It is the little Switzerland of Virginia, and we have tons of cows and sheep because cows and sheep are great to have where you have a lot of hills, because they can handle the hills, whereas some other animals maybe could not. All right, sorry, Bessie, I'm gonna have to cut the little tip off your tail here because this picture is just a little bit too long. Okay, so we can put that there. The tickets can go on the top. Maybe I'll just staple them in that way, but I need something behind them. So what I was thinking was behind them, where's my fair guide again? I'm going to take something, oh, here, exhibiting rules and regulations. I didn't even read this because I just went straight to the categories that Mr. Moss and I entered. It just says that, you know, when you have to have stuff in and whatever. But anyways, so another cool thing about the fair, about the judging, all the judges for the food and preserved goods. Food and preserved goods are like in the same department. So the same judges can do the preserved food. And when I say preserved food, I'm talking about canning and dried foods. And then there's baked goods. And the judges can do all of those things. They're certified to do all of those things. Like if you get a certification in canning, you've also learned how to do baked goods and so on and so forth. But our judges all come from out of the county because it's a small county, and there would be all kinds of issues with playing favorites and blah blah blah. So our judges all come from out of the county and come into Highland for the Wednesday morning to judge the goods. And so the two judges that I was working with, I was getting the stuff off the bleachers for them, the goods that they needed to judge. I was the runner, so I was going to get the stuff that they needed. And when it was done, one of the judges mentioned that I was like, where are you from? Because she said something about coming up over the mountains, whatever. And I thought maybe she was from the valley between the Blue Ridge and Allegheny Mountains. And she said, no. She said, I'm from Caroline County. I'm like, okay, that's the county I live in. It turns out this woman literally lives about a mile from me, if that much. Certainly like a mile by the road, but not as the crow flies, as they say, right? So we got to talking and everything, because I was saying to Mr. Moss, we really need to do stuff for our own county fair here too. We have two houses. We've got, you know what? I'm just going to let it, no, I'm going to cut it a little bit more. Nobody's going to read it because oops, sorry about that. Nobody's going to read it because it's really just the background, right? I'm just doing this to put something, but oh no, that's not going to work. Okay. All right, plan B. Let me get my other scissors. Sorry for the reach, guys. I have to reach up here. Okay, sorry about that. So next year, we're probably going to help with and or compete in this county fair also at this house because it's a lot of fun. And everyone said, well, you really need to put some of your junk journals in there or whatever. I didn't enter anything in the crafting. I'm just gluing here. I didn't enter anything in crafting this year. So this is my first year entering anything. So I don't know. I have to see what the categories are. But I'll tell you, the other thing, it's very weird. If you live in a small county, I guess because there's not a lot of people who participate. I mean, they do in like the food categories and stuff, and certainly quilting and stuff, good night. But in certain categories they didn't. So I was talking to a lady I know, and she happens to be the potter. She teaches all the pottery classes in Highland County. And she had entered some of her pieces. And she said, now I'm just going to go ahead and staple those there, I think. She said, I have something here and there, and then I have a piece in mixed media. And I'm like, oh, mixed media. And I didn't know that this woman did mixed media. I just knew her as the pottery lady, the lady who teaches the pottery classes and makes and sells pottery. Well, it turns out that whoever did the crafting category, she had a wind chime that was, I'm sorry, I'm gluing again here. She had a wind chime that was made with pottery, little dangly things, like the chimey part was pottery. There was string holding the chimey part, and then the chimey strings, or the strings were tied to a piece of wood, like a branch, like a pretty piece of wood. And they called that mixed media. And I'm like, that is not mixed media. I said, they have no idea what mixed media is if they're thinking that is mixed media. So anyway, sometimes things can be a little bit weird, I guess. So look, this says Highland County Fair, and it's in nice colors. So let's go ahead and as straight as I can, which is not very, I'm going to cut that down. So we had, what did we have the first night? Because you got to eat fair food, right? The first night, what did we have the first night? Yeah. So one of the Rurtons in clubs in Highland, which for a county of 2,000 people, or less than 2,000 people now, has 4 Ruriton clubs. One of the Ruriton's clubs was selling loaded baked potatoes. So we had that, but we don't have them loaded because we don't eat the chili, and it had bacon bits. We don't eat that since we're vegetarians, but it had broccoli. We did have the broccoli, the sour cream, the butter. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Okay, so I like that there. And then what was I going to put there? The quarters. That is from the bingo, the reminder that we played bingo. So I can, that color goes there. All right, and then we'll find some other little doodads maybe out of this thing here. I don't want to cut up that whole book because I need to keep it for next year. One of my girlfriends on the mountain, the one that I go to coffee with all the time, she runs the canned good, the baked and canned goods, or baked and preserved goods competition at the fair. And so I told her, I wanted to make some changes, and she always wants to make changes, based on what's coming in and whatever. But I need to keep that so I can look at what it says now and what I would recommend she change it to. Because like they only had one category for vinegar. So this is not me being catty. I'm fine. I got a second place on vinegar. And there were only 2 entries, mine and somebody else's. Well, the other person, all they did was took white vinegar, regular white vinegar, and stuck a piece of tarragon, the spice or the herb tarragon in it. That's what they did. I made apple cider vinegar from scratch, from apples. And I said there's got to be 2 categories. There's got to be homemade and just infused, because you're comparing apples with oranges when you're doing that. Absolute apples and oranges, because if you've ever made apple cider vinegar, you got to stir it every day for 2 weeks. Then you got to, do this and that and blah, 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 versus opening, pouring some white vinegar and sticking an herb in it. So anyway, so things like that. I need to, she said, well, let me know what I should write. And also my apple cider vinegar is raw and unfiltered, so it's cloudy and it has sediment at the bottom. But that's the mother. That's where the good probiotics are. That's why I do it, So anyway, it's a learning curve. It's a newer category. Nobody had ever entered vinegar or dried foods before, because they were both new last year. Good night. You should see all the dried foods that came in this year. It was crazy. And I said to her, you said I wasn't going to have any competition, that nobody else was going to enter. She said they didn't enter last year. Anyway, I was glad, because I don't want to win because nobody else competed. You know what I'm saying? You want to have some kind of competition, or where's, yeah, you get the ribbon, but it's kind of like, what do they call it? A hollow victory? It's kind of like a hollow victory. So I'm going to see if I can get this banner, a little piece of this banner here. I might have to cut it in and out just a little bit. I'm not fussy cutting this. Good night. No way. But I'm thinking maybe just a little bit of this. So, we also went and saw the animals, which, it's your county fair is only going to have so many animals. I mean, tons of cows, pigs, sheep, goats, chickens, rabbits. But that was fun too. I always like to see them. We got to remember those guys. And we did not go yesterday, because by the time we got back home from my cousins, I told my husband, you've got to go to the dump and empty the trash, get rid of the trash and recycling. I have to clean. And I am not used to being outside all day long. I mean, I go outside and do stuff. You know, I love to walk and whatever, garden. But I am not used to being outside all day long. And even though at my cousin's, literally we were just sitting on our butts talking, which was very fun. I think oh no, let's do it maybe down here. Let's do it here across the quarters here. This is going to be a little tricky to glue though. I don't want to tear it. We sat outside, you know, at my cousin's property all day yesterday. Now, we were under an awning, so I wasn't, like, in the hot sun, but I was exhausted. I absolutely was exhausted. I went to bed at 10 o'clock, and usually when I'm at here, I do go to bed at 10 o'clock, but usually at the cabin, we stay up late because, well, later, like till 11:30 or so, because we like to watch baking shows on Netflix. Both Mr. Moss and I do. And yeah, no, I watched one episode. I'm like, done. I'm going to bed. I had to go to bed. But it's nice when you wake up in the morning without using your alarm, because I did. I got up this morning without using my alarm, which means I got enough sleep. Okay, so let's see. We just need something else. And if I find something else that I want to put in here, I can. I had another book, and I think I must have left it at the cabin, and it was all about agriculture. And I thought, well, that would be really fun to use that as well. I'm just wondering here. Let's see here. What if I cut out? I don't know if you could see these little animals here. This little set of animals here. And see, there's fireworks. Their fireworks are tonight. And obviously we're not there. We're not going. Saturday nights at the fair is the most crowded night. I mean, it is crowded. So I'm okay not being there. Okay. Although the more people that are there, so I can kind of, okay, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is get out this heavy duty glue. I'm going to glue that bottom ticket down on this edge here. Come on, glue. I know. It's been a week since I've used you, and look how good it is. It's being nice to me. That's good. I'm going to glue that down so that I can put this on top of that bottom ticket, on top of these guys, and have some more animals. Okay. I didn't think that there was any fair stickers or anything. I really didn't look at any of the displays that the organizations had. And sometimes you could get some fun stickers and stuff there, but I just didn't do it. I don't know. We ran out of time or something. Okay, let's see. Like that. Okay. So this ticket you can still see, you know, but I'm just putting that there. Like that. Okay. All right. So I am going to tell you right now that this week coming up and the following week, I am going to be super busy, like super ridiculously busy. So I'm not sure how my videoing is going to go or how many videos I will be able to put up. I will do my best to put at least something up this week. Next week, it will be impossible. If I get 2 done this week, I'll save one so that you have one each week. But yeah, I need to get back into crafting. Like I said, the whole week I really did nothing except for fair stuff. And I had a ball. Oh, well, okay, that's not true. I did also plant my garden, my fall garden up there, which was a lot of work. But it's done and everything's growing, so that's happy too. So guys, that's it for this video. Like I said, if I find more stuff, I know I have some children's books that I can go through, and I'm sure I can find some more fair themes, like stuff that maybe I could just put some little bits and bobs around or whatever. And I'm sorry I left my other book. I think I put it with the big Melitza stuff. I was going to work on a page for her, never did it, because I said I was going to video that for you guys, and I never did it, and I'm sorry about that. Next time I go back, I'll work in her again. But I think I must have put that agriculture book, well, it's a magazine that I got at the fair. I think I put it with her stuff instead of bringing it home, which I should have for this. But anyway, enough banter. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I ask that you do, and welcome to all my new subscribers. It's nice to have you. And until the next video, I hope you're all truly blessed. Bye-bye.